Hey everybody, KC here. So over the weekend, the Wall Street Journal fashion writer did a piece comparing LL Bean to Land's End. And he was prompted to do this because I guess he's done a number of columns about value menswear. He had not mentioned those two companies. A lot of Wall Street Journal writers kind of got up in arms about it, wrote to him, so he decided to go out to New Jersey, go to an LL Bean store, go to a Land's End store, and compare the two brands. And I thought, listen, it was an interesting column. LL Bean actually won in his mind, but in some ways I thought it missed the point, which is the two brands can actually coexist because they represent something very, very different to me. Um, Land's End, in my view, is a brand that is very Midwestern, very middle of the road, a little bit corporate, and one is not surprised that that was a brand that was owned by Sears for a long time. They got away from Sears before Eddie Lampert had a chance to screw things up for them, but that's what they are. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, LL Bean, on the other hand, that has a very much of a New England ethic. And as somebody who has lived in New England for 40 years, I can complete with a house in Connecticut and 3 yellow labs, you know, that I not only does that profile fit me, but I fit their profile. And hey, listen, this shirt, I've had this LL Bean shirt for something like 15 years. It is like steel. It is amazing how long it's lasted. I have a shelf full of LL Bean t-shirts, always in gray, black, or navy blue. I love them. And I know they're going to last forever. And I connect to them. I even have an LL Bean barn jacket. That's how much of a stereotype I am. But the real point to me is that both brands understand the value of their brands, that it even goes beyond their clothing. It is, they're about something. They stand for something. When you think of either of those names, you know exactly what they are. And that's what every retailer has to do, in my view, right? You have to understand that it's not just about the products you're selling. You have to communicate a basic value proposition, a kind of brand equity to your customers as soon as they utter or hear your name. And if you don't do that, well, you're basically fighting with one hand tied behind your back. So I give both Land's End and LL Bean a ton of credit. I'm a big fan of LL Bean in part because Steve Smith, the CEO, he comes out of the supermarket industry. He's out of what I like to call the Ron Hodge School of Retailing. Ron Hodge ran Hannaford Brothers, and all of the executives, pretty much all the executives who worked for him at Hannaford Brothers, have all turned into amazingly great executives who are great with people, great running a company, and great about understanding their brand. And that's incredibly important. It's something Ron taught them. It's something that LL Bean has always done. It's something that Land's End does. And I have to salute them both. Know your brand. That's the important thing, no matter what clothing you're wearing. Anyway, that's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.